Additional discussion items. At this point in the meeting, Board of Education members may request to add an additional discussion item.
So I will bring up, I think, what I wrote in my board notes. This obviously, we're nearing not quite the end, but close to the end of our first year with the student representatives. And so I think we probably owe them and we owe the larger group a good discussion as to what worked, what didn't work, what you guys got out of it, what we could have done differently as a board or the administrative staff. So I'm not sure this is the time to talk about it today. We probably want to prepare for it, but if we could put it on the agenda in the coming months, I think it would be helpful. And as you go into the next round of elections.
Yeah, I think
right?
probably by spring break or right after spring break is probably the time, right?
I mean, because I'd like to hear.
We gotta replace you all, or one, or how we're gonna do that. I think that's a very good discussion.
Coming up with this idea, I think it's a tremendous success. It's getting your input, both of your input, as representatives of the students has been very valuable, and it's needed. So,
and what a year to jump into it, huh?
Right. But I think I'd like to get to some tangibles, right? Some, we would have liked to know more about budgeting or human resources or technology or what we could have done to kind of make things smoother in light of the pandemic or not. But I think that's the kind of feedback, and not for now. I'm not meaning to put you on the spot, but I think and not to give you homework. That's not my role, but I just think that would be helpful.
Lillian Michaels, your last meeting is the May Committee of the Whole.
Okay.
And so we will probably work on electing 2 new student advisors. We'll probably put that application out sometime in April. And then the committee will do interviews again for student advisors sometime in May. So as we would recognize Lily and Michael at the May COW, we would introduce who the 2 new students will be. And they do not start till August. We do not ask student board members to attend the June or July meeting. So that just gives you a timeline. So if the board was going to have a discussion, I would think, sometime in March, or as soon as we get back, the 2 meetings in April would probably be good discussion time.
Yeah, and just to add on to what Deanna suggested, I think what I would love to hear from you, from the 2 of you, is how was it what you thought it was, and how was it different? For instance, I don't remember when you interviewed, you had great ideas and you said we're going to try to engage students. How much were you able to do that? Where did it not work? Right? I mean, if we get that kind of feedback, it might actually help us tweak how we select or how we interact with the next group.
I also think because of COVID, we didn't expect.
It's not a good sample, right?
Yeah. You weren't able to eat lunch every day where your your classmates are really engaged in the hallways and see, right? And provide some feedback on things that we would normally would. So that's a good point.
Yeah, I think people have, the small conversations, right, that we, especially as educators, I think, and students have in the hallways and in the lunchrooms, and those are very much missed by many people. I had one the other day that was very eye-opening with an administrator who has to be in the building every day, but I walked away thinking, God, I missed that. That's right. I found out a lot of valuable information from that quick little 2-minute conversation that I had about what they need and where they're at, and those, those are the kinds of things where you would be gaining insight that just don't exist.
Okay, all right. So thank you. Yeah, that's great.